What's up, everybody? CHM Carnivorous here. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Today, it was a request that was made last video about doing a Venus flytrap seed process, and so that is what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to show you what you'll need to do in order to grow Venus flytraps from seeds. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is talk about just how small and what these seeds actually look like. And so in front of me, I have a little pack of 100 Venus flytrap seeds. Now, they could be a little bit bigger than this, but for the most part, they're about the size of like that grass seed that you see on the crow's foot, and very small. Once I flower Venus flytrap and pollinate them, I'll show you those. But for the most part, this is what you're going to start off with. Now, they do not have to be cold stratified or anything like that if you're going to plant them right away. If you do want to hold them for a while, then there's a process for that. But for the most part, if you're going to plant them right away, they don't need to be cold stratified in any way. As far as planting goes, you want to put them right on the soil surface, and so we'll talk about that here. Now, there are a couple different things that you can use when doing this. You can use 50-50 peat and perlite, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. You could use 100% peat and it would do just fine. You want to sprinkle them right on top of the soil. Do not bury the seeds at all. And then just make sure you mist the soil. If you're going to be growing them inside, mist the soil, and they will do just fine. As far as lighting goes, they're going to want the exact same lighting that they are going to get as adult plants. The only caveat being that if you are growing them outside, you want to sort of keep them out of direct sun because it can cook the seeds. Now, if you are going to grow them outside, try to protect them from the rain. Here's an example. I did not. I have more, and I was trying out an experiment. In these pots here, there's 100 seeds total. Now, I want to show you why you're going to want to protect them from the rain. See how all of these are sort of growing up against the side of the pot? That is because they were evenly distributed, but as the rain came down, it sort of splashed the seeds off of the media and then pushed them up against the pot. Now, I'm sure some of them actually went outside of the pot, and so you will lose your seeds that way. But for the most part, when you do plant them, you want to make sure the soil surface is wet. It will take about anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months or longer for them to start to germinate. It is a very long process for Venus flytrap seeds. When they do germinate, you will see these tiny little plantlets that come out that do not look like Venus flytraps at all. These are called cotyledons, and they are a photosynthesizing leaf. It's just a way for the plant to get its nutrients, or excuse me, the seeds to get its nutrients to start producing the traps. Now, a lot of carnivorous plants produce these cotyledons at first, Sarracenia being another one of note, but they are not carnivorous at all. They are simply there to help get some energy for the plant. Now, I do have one that will show the next stage, which is this right here. There is a itty bitty tiny little trap. Now, that trap is probably the size of, oh, I don't know, a pinpoint, maybe a little bit bigger. And it will catch its own prey. It's going to be very, very, very small prey. And so at this point, you do not want to feed it at all or get any sort of fertilizer or anything like that. You will burn these seedlings up pretty fast. So it will start to produce these little tiny traps, and those traps will catch little things like fungus gnats and other things. But honestly, it really doesn't need that nitrogen at this point in stage in its life. But you see right there, it's a little grass clipping and an osmocote pellet next to it, so you can see very easily how small they are. At this point, again, care is exactly the same. You're going to want to sit them in water, and you can go ahead and have the soil a little bit more moist than you would a regular Venus flytrap. And because I grow these in Florida, I don't need to worry about covering them because it is, during the summer, extremely humid. But if you are growing them indoors or in somewhere that's not Florida, you are going to want to provide them a humidity dome. And that's When you're first starting, you're going to want to provide them a good amount of humidity. I recommend one of those trays that has the plastic dome at about 100% humidity at first, and then you can slowly start to open it up and reduce the humidity, but you are going to want to keep it between 70 to even upwards of 80% humidity. That way it helps the seeds germinate. Now, to note, you do not want the seeds too wet. And so this soil consistency you see in front of you is perfect for what they need. If the soil is very swampy and standing water, those seeds have the potential to rot, and so you do not want that. And if the soil is too dry, the seeds will not germinate. Now, that doesn't necessarily kill off the seeds. They'll just wait until the soil is a little bit more wet. Now, let's show you the next stage. So after several months, depending on your conditions, the plant will start to look like that. Just an itty bitty little seedling. Now, at this point, you still don't need to feed it. It's going to do what it needs and get the nutrients that it needs. But if you are going to grow Venus flytraps, understand that it is a very slow process. It takes a long time from a plant seed to a full-grown flowering mature plant. Can take 7 years. So it is not for the faint of heart or somebody that's in a big hurry. I do recommend it, however, and I would say that what I like to do is grow Venus flytraps in pullings and then also have some adult plants. That way you get every stage and you're not completely left just sitting around waiting and lose interest. Now let's come over here and look at some a little bit bigger ones. These are probably about 6 months old, I would say. And so these were from a batch I did at the beginning-ish of the year. A little hard to see there. And I just let them grow out. Now, if I was growing these in controlled conditions, they would be probably larger at this point, but I just grow them outside. To me, it helps prepare them for being an adult in the harsh Florida climate, where it's very hot and very rainy. But over a period of about a year, you can get something like this, which is about the size of a quarter, a little bit larger, and then it will continue to grow from there. Now, something to note when it comes to water, you're going to want to use rainwater or reverse osmosis or distilled water. Definitely, well, always with Venus flytraps, you're going to want anything with a total parts per million under 50, because they are very, very susceptible to hard water. Seeds are no different. They're definitely going to want a good, clean, pure water. Their soil, you want to make sure there's no added nutrients, as that will kill the plant very fast. And if you are growing a plant that has sphagnum moss, or excuse me, growing a plant in a soil that has sphagnum moss, you're going to want to make sure to keep that at bay, as that will quickly take over a plant. As far as fertilizing, I've done very well not fertilizing for a while. I got some sort of bug trying to get to know me here. I've done very well with not fertilizing the plant and just sort of let it do its own thing, growing it outdoors. Certainly you can speed the process up by fertilizing them, but you just have to be extremely careful, especially at a smaller size, as it can result in the death of the plant or burning the plant up very fast. All right, so that pretty much covers everything you need to know about growing Venus flytrap seeds. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I will certainly get you the answer that you need. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.